And welcome back to episode 3 of Saving Sunderland on Football Manager 2018. Now, I've decided to come back a bit earlier than I would have thought of because it's a half derby against Middlesbrough. No offence Middlesbrough fans, but it is a half derby. How are Middlesbrough doing? They're in 22nd of the championship at the minute while we still top. So, going into it, we are away from home. Middlesbrough definitely have some good players, at least on Football Manager. So I don't expect an easy victory at all. But since we last met at Ipswich, we drew 2-2. Disappointing. But it's been sort of been up and down since then as well. We came back, we beat Preston 3-1 away from home, which was a good result. Alex Muniz, our second choice left wing back, getting a goal, and Duncan Watmore continuing in his good form, getting 2 goals against Preston, which was really good to see. Now, our next match was probably maybe the worst match of the season so far. I know we got beat off Derby first game of the season, but in this match, we just weren't at the races really. We scored through Duncan Watmore, but I mean, Bassi came back from his long injury and got sent off straight away. After that, I fined him, so he decided to kick up a bit of a fuss. So now he finds himself in the under-23s and low enlisted. He's not good enough to be kicking off for getting fined. That was his second red card of the season so far. That's it for me. He's done. Anyway, following on from that miserable result, we ended up going away to Brentford and winning 4-2. Now, Brentford do have quite a good team on Football Manager for the Championship, so I was really pleased to get back to winning ways and winning 4-2. It was pretty convincing. Kopke getting 2, Duncan Watmore and Ian McGeady getting 1 each, continuing their good form. We'll follow that up with a 2-0 win against Bristol City, which was another great result. Cal McManaman coming off the bench getting a goal. McManaman's starting to become unhappy with his lack of playing time. But with Duncan Watmore, he's not going to get in, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens in January. We might have to try and cash in. I believe he's on the last year of his deal, so whatever happens, he'll be leaving at the end of the season at the latest. Alex Munoz again with another goal. He has scored quite a couple of goals this season. Now in the last match we drew against Bolton 1-1 at home. Bolton, this was a game where you would have expected us to win. Bolton sitting 16th at the minute. We were at home. But it's one of them things. The Championship, there's that many games happening. I think there's 3 days between Bristol City and Bolton. I think some of our players might have been a bit too tired. Might have called for a bit more rotation from me, but we'll see. But anyway, next up we've got Middlesbrough away from home. They're doing poorly, we're doing really well, so you know what that means. We're going to get beat. Going with this familiar lineup with Robin Reiter in goal, Nikola Katic, Luis Felipe, Paddy McNair in centre back, because our right wing back Stephen Moreira, who's been having a really good season, is out for 4 weeks. So Tyus Browning's going to slot in there right wing back just till Stephen gets back. Alex Munoz again slotting in for Francisco Varela, who's not too long left now, 49 days, and he shall be back. He might be back for the next game, or if not, the game after. Max Christiansen and Josh Cullen both stay in the centre midfielder role. I've been switching these two about a little bit just to see what kind of form I can get out of either of them. They're both playing reasonably well for centre midfielders. I find on this year's FM, I sometimes struggle to get the average rating out of centre midfielders, so the fact that these are both well above a 7, I'm quite pleased with. Duncan Watmore right, Ed McGeady left, and Kopke up front. That's it, we'll get another match. So we'll kick off against Borough with form on our side. I think players on our side. I think we do have, maybe on balance, a slightly stronger team than they do. They're starting Adam Matthews, who we sold to them in the summer for a good chunk of change. So let's hope he has a poor game. But I would expect us to at least get a draw here. We should be aiming for a win, but I'm trying to be a bit hesitant. This is the only derby we're going to have for quite a while. So we'll see what we're going to do. Half time and not a highlight between us. So you can tell what this game's going to be like. They'll probably come back at the 85th minute and score. for the only highlight. But I get the second half underway. The boys have got fired up there, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. 65 minutes in, we are not doing anything here. I'm going to get some changes in. Aidan McGeady for Ajaria, and Duncan Watmore's having a uncharacteristically poor game, so I'm going to give Cal McManaman the game time. Cal McManaman, he is a decent player, but sometimes he just lets himself down, I think. But we'll give him a go and see if he can change this game for us. Tell the boys to push forward, because we have been having the better of the game through the stats. They are having more possession though, so I've got to be careful. First highlight of the game, 82nd minute. Oh, Ajaria. Now, if Aidan McGeady was still there, would he have scored? You just never know. Oh, Ajaria at a break. Come on, Kopke. Good ball. Tyus Brown down this right hand side. Oh, he's lost it out. Oh, Patrick Bamford's on. Asombalonga. Oh, 88th minute. Second highlight. A goal. We're struggling. I think I'll just try and conserve one of them. Josh Cullen. Let's give Jack Rodwell a game, considering he's earning £70,000 a week. But it was a good breakaway by Middlesbrough. Stuart Downing to Patrick Bamford. You know, they've got good players. Asombalonga, he's a great player for the Championship. I'm going to be really disappointed at the defeat, but, you know, it's one of them things where they're having a poor season and they've just turned up against us. It's unfortunate, but it happens. But now with that, our form is starting to look quite sketchy. Our early season form's definitely starting to dry up. Right, so going back over that defeat in Middlesbrough, I think we were unlucky. I think we should have got a draw out the game, but neither side really deserved it. That still sees us sitting top. Wolves have now caught us, same with Derby, but our goal difference is a lot better now, so we're still top. The key for me is I've got to get playoffs. You know, the board expect us to get playoffs, so that's what I've got to get, and we're currently 6 points clear. We're getting close to the halfway mark, so I guess we'll see in January whereabouts you'd expect us to finish. Again, I'm still aiming for automatic promotion. I think we've got the players to do it, particularly with Duncan Watmore. He's the highest average rating in the league now. He's performing really well, apart from last game. So I would expect us to grab second. That's what I would think. But having a quick look through the stats, Kopke has got himself top of the goal scoring charts, which is what I wanted. He hasn't been crazy prolific. I mean, 10 goals and 16 is great, but he is the lone striker, so you do sort of expect goals from him. As you can see now, like, he's sort of star rating sort of adjusted ever since he's joined the squad. He's now a 3.5 star with only 4-star potential. Had he been like that, had he been like that even on the scout report, I would have signed him, because we were desperate for a striker. Ashley Fletcher is not good enough for the Championship. He's not good enough for this team. So Kopke's top of the goal scoring charts. I'm really pleased about that. Duncan Watmore's still top of the assists. As you can see, we're picking up plenty of yellow cards. I might need to address that in my player instructions. I've took it off. I did have initially get stuck in on the team instructions, but I've since taken that off, because we were picking up a lot of yellow cards, and a lot of red cards were looking likely coming down the line, you know. So I think I'll go through the player instructions, and if I've got anything set that gets stuck in, I'll get that taken off. As you can see, player of the match is Kopke. He's got 4. He's doing well. I'm quietly pleased with the pair of them. Just having a look at some of the team stats here. We're top of the goals, which is always brilliant. Best at hitting target, quite some distance as well, 46%. That's very pleasing, especially since we've got the likes of Duncan Watmore, who, as I've said, he's not the most technically gifted, so we'll take that. Most fouls made, we're top of that as well. That's brilliant. We're actually third best in conceded, which is surprising. I thought would be further down than that at the start of the season, but I'm guessing them 3 centre-halves have sort of come into play now, and they're starting to understand the system a bit better with the wing-backs. And I think, our centre-backs, Nikola Katic, he's 21. He's only just turned. Luis Felipe, he's 20. Paddy McNair's not usual, so Tyus Brown's usual. He's 23. He's not even our player. But between the three of them, they're all young, average age of about 21, 22. But they seem to be performing well. Any defender who's averaging over a 7 is doing a good job to me. So we'll take that. Looking forward to the next episode. I think I'll bring us back around the Nottingham Forest or Barnsley games, depending on how certain things fall. I do have some money for January. I have 3.84 million. And there was one player I was looking at who to potentially bring in. It was this guy, Santi Comensana. Physically, he's just a dream. Mentally and technically, he's got it all, really. I did try and sign him at the back end of the summer transfer window, but I couldn't free up the funds quick enough to be able to push the signing through. Annoyingly, I'd made a board adjustment earlier before I'd got Catamol off the wages, and then once that had went through, it wouldn't let me adjust the budget anymore because contracts had already been offered on that basis. And basically, we had the money to do it, but because I couldn't adjust the budgets, we didn't. So I might look at that again in January. But saying that, Josh Cullen's come in and he's doing really well, and I wouldn't like to drop Max Christiansen purely because I paid 4 million for him, a big chunk of our budget. So we'll see anyway. But until next time, I'll see you.